I'm not gonna do an intro. I'm gonna tell my testimony today because I felt like I just need to. So, welcome to another episode of the Narrow Path. This is my testimony. So, my testimony starts back. I was saved and baptized in first grade, you know, but I didn't take it seriously till it's really late right now. I'm sorry, my voice sounds weird. It's like 11 right now. I'm really tired. But I've been thinking about this video all night, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do it right now because I'm busy all day tomorrow. But so, I guess my testimony starts in about seventh grade. You know, I was at a private Christian school. Um, Private Christian school, right? I wasn't a popular kid. I was well known, I guess. I was pretty a favorite of all the teachers. But I wasn't disliked or anything. I was just there. You know what I mean? Like I was just that side character. But I was just kind of there, and I didn't talk to anyone about my life. I didn't really. I mean, I had friends. I just didn't talk to them a lot, and I kind of. I mean, I was just there, and I think seventh grade was hard on my personal life because I was a very lustful person, and I struggled with that for such a long time. And I'm not shaking right now because I'm scared to say this. I was such a lustful person. I mean, I didn't even give a crap. I didn't read my Bible. I didn't do anything related to Jesus, right? So anyway, I was super duper lustful. I mean, I just didn't give a crap, right? So anyway, I think around end of seventh grade or beginning of eighth grade, I stopped, right? Kind of gave in a little bit, started following Christ, started reading my Bible more, stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure it's eighth grade is when I heard the my prophetic for the first time. That was written by my cousin in 2018. So I was in first grade, right? Didn't hear it till 2018. So anyway, in that prophetic, it was talking about how, I'm supposed to be an evangelist, right? And I was just like, dude, I, I cannot do that. I'm not cut out for that, right? So I kind of just went back and forth, and I remember making this channel, and I've talked about this before, right? I made this channel and didn't do anything with it for 6 months because I didn't know what to post. I thought about doing a testimony, but I wasn't ready to do my testimony, right? And my lustful thoughts were fine, and then it just came back. You know what I mean? It just came back out of nowhere. And I remember it was so much worse than last time. And it was so bad. And I just kept going. It went on for months and months and months. And I remember about some time before I went to church camp, right? I prayed. No, hold up. I need to back up. I think when I decided to leave my private school and go homeschool was because, I need time to evangelize, right? I had someone teach me how to evangelize, all that stuff. And then the year ended and it was summer. And I remember praying to God in my bed right there, saying, Lord, I need you to surround me with the best people. Because at my school, they were just hypocrites. I mean, absolute hypocrites. There would be people doing this one day, then they go to chapel, and then they are worshiping, praising God. You know what I mean? And I'm not judging them, but it was just such not hypocrisy to the point like, why are they being such hypocrites if they're doing all this and that? I had a friend come up to me, hey, technically swearing isn't a sin? And I was like, yeah, it is. And he said, the Bible doesn't say it. And I'm like, yeah, it does. I didn't know exactly what verse. Still don't. I need to do a video on swearing. Anyway, but around that time it was hard. And then I think, and then I had, and my life was fine. And then boom, I had a friend who attempted suicide. And that put a very heavy burden on me. I was like, I do not want that to happen. And then I had another friend actually commit suicide. And that was like really hard on me because I didn't know them for very long, but it was like I never had someone who actually did it, and it was it was really hard on me because I was like, I cannot believe that, you know what I mean? And and he and I felt like I could have helped him, and I didn't do anything, and I kind of blamed that on me. I was blaming that stuff on me because I was like, bro, I could have done something if I knew, and I didn't. I kind of blamed that on me for a while. And yeah, I just blamed it on me. And I was just like, bro, it's all my fault. And then I remember sometime before church camp, no, I got off topic. I was in my bed and I was like, Lord, I need you to surround me with the right people, right? And about 5 minutes later, I have a group of people call me, and those are my Bible study group. That's the people who are in my Bible study, which we haven't done one in a while, so we need to start doing one again. But yeah, that was that was insane. And anyway, but I remember before I went to church camp, I was like, Lord, I need you to change my life, because I was still battling lust for a little bit. First day of church camp, we're in service, and I see everyone around me raising their hands, right? And it was like God took my hands out of my pocket and made me raise my hands. And it was so weird to feel because I swear I didn't do it. I swear someone took my hand out of my pocket. Like I could feel like someone grabbed my wrist. And the next day, I remember we were sitting up the front row, and I saw Jesus Christ on stage. I saw him on stage next to the keyboard, and I just like literally just started crying like a baby. Oh man, I cried and cried and cried about that. That was that was actually insane. And even after that, I was still battling lust because I was like, oh yeah, I saw this is gonna help. No, it didn't. And one thing I learned is you're not gonna find an answer in a YouTube video that's gonna tell you how to battle lust. You have to find out for yourself by reading the Bible. Sure, a video can be a helpful tool, but you can't just watch a video and then all of a sudden you're good. You can't just ask someone a question and they'll say, yeah, do this, but you still have to. I mean, the Bible. I mean, Jesus said, if your eye causes you to sin, gouge your eye out and cut your hand. That doesn't. He's not being literal. He's like, cut out all the things that are making you do that in your life, right? And that helped me so much. I mean, that helped me a lot. And after that, I started my YouTube channel, and I was actually not doing bad. I gained 140 subscribers within 5 videos. In 140 within 5 videos, and I thought I was doing great. Started doing some verse of the day stuff, and I remember someone commented. So I just said a voice crack. Someone commented that the Kenneth Copeland in the making, and I'm like, bro, what did I do wrong? It's a verse of the day video, and that made me think like, is there something that I'm doing wrong? There might be something I'm doing wrong, and people think that I'm not a good person. And that just made me think like, is he? I couldn't tell if he's trying to be nice and he just doesn't know, or he's genuinely dissing on me for no reason. And that put a very heavy burden on me because I was like, I don't know what he means by that. I didn't say anything to him, but I don't compare myself to any pastor. I try to compare myself to Christ. I try to be more like Jesus. And sure, like I do videos and I preach a little bit, I've never really done like a full on sermon where I preach about an actual lesson to a bunch of people. And I've always wanted to, and I still pray, and I still want to, and I always pray to God. I was like, Lord, I really want to do that. I was like, sometime in my teenage years, because I'm 14, I was like, Lord, I really want to do that so bad. But, God will open a door for me. You know what I mean? I didn't really explain my testimony well, but if you get it, you get it. I'm very, very tired, so I'm not explaining this very well. Um, there's been doors open and doors closed that I don't really want to talk about right now. I'm sorry. I might make another part to this, but that's pretty much the gist of my testimony. I might do a longer version in the future because my testimony is still going on. Your testimony is your whole life with Jesus.